So I've been thinking a lot recently about a couple of things. One is how do injuries work, right? Um, and I like metaphors a lot. Other people don't, but we have emotional injuries, spiritual injuries, physical injuries, and it seems like they all work the same way. So an example of a physical injury: I sliced all the skin off the back of my thumb 6 weeks ago. Uh, every time anything happened near that thumb for the next month, it hurt 10 times worse than the original injury. And the feelings around injury came up of anger, disappointment, looking for something or somebody to blame. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I think with spiritual and emotional injuries, same thing happens. And this is tied to a thing in our society right now called microaggressions, right? And we're talking about if you're a member of an oppressed group and a member of a privileged group walks by you, you feel hurt, and then you're enraged and angry all over again. And there's two fields of thought around that right now. One is get over it. What's wrong with you? That person had no intent to hurt you at that time. And the other one is this is intent, and it's just as damaging as much more egregious acts of ism, racism, sexism, culturalism, tribalism, right? My thinking is that it hurts just as much when you get a funny look on an old injury or a new old injury. So I really want us to think as a community and as individuals about this. So if you think of a lot of what are called microaggressions as just a slight thing happening to a serious injury that hasn't healed yet, I think it's easier to deal with moving forward in society than if you try to assign new blame for a new injury. And I would be interested in people's thoughts on that. How would you even as a person try to separate the difference between having a broken foot from a horse stepping on you and being upset, and then a week later you're in line at the grocery store and somebody steps back without knowing you're there and steps on that broken foot? It's going to hurt worse than when the horse broke your foot. What do you do about it? Do you blame that person in front of you? Do you attack them? What do you do? And the real crux of the issue is it hurts worse, and it does cause more damage sometimes. So you actually have injury as well as insult when an injury is re-traumatized to a very small degree. A person stepping on your foot when your foot's totally healthy almost doesn't hurt at all. It hurts a little bit. This is attached to another issue of, well, maybe we'll just leave it there. That's a good short one. What do we do if my hypothesis that a lot of what's going on right now is things are actually a lot less worse? We in the community of social justice warriors are reacting as if they are even worse than they were in 1960 or 1950 or 1860, because the pain is still there. It's not imaginary as the people, well, my ancestors, I'm not responsible for my ancestors' actions. Right. The injury, the pain, the agony is still there. Of course, then I jump, right, okay, and then we still have the economic impact. The economic impact doesn't go away when the oppression is reduced. We still have generational economic impacts of not having generational money. What do we do about that? I mean, first of all, I think it's good to acknowledge it. And we have hyperbole around it because there's still so much pain, right? All these things should happen because the economic impact of oppression on the grandfathers of somebody still affected them. Either way, either you have privilege, so you have a chance to have generational money. And if you look at the figures of descendants of privileged people getting help with college, or getting a couple $100,000, or getting a car when they turn 16, or getting a car when they graduate from high school, a lot bigger than the people who are oppressed. So these are all things to think about. What do we want to do about it if it's true? What are your thoughts on whether it's true or not?